by I don't even know if you're gonna see this footage, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, but I'm trying to make this I don't even know what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make a video about you coming with me to the studio. I don't know why I pointed at this fucking. We're going to the studio today, and we're working on brand new material. Maybe we will show you some new music as well. And I'm gonna try to film a little bit of how a studio session is with me and Simon. It's usually Simon and I who writes the music, and then Kevin, which is the screamer. You won't see him today, but he usually comes in a little bit later, and he's really angry, and he screams at the microphone. And that was cringe, wasn't it? So this is where we work. A little bit messy, so Simon is going to be mad that I show all the mess. But yeah, this is where we work. So you really care about what you eat, right? That's really important to you.
Oh yes.
So what do you typically eat?
Red meat.
Meats?
Yes.
Yeah, so not a vegan then?
Absolutely not. Red meat, eggs, raw honey.
Yes.
And some chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk?
Dark chocolate.
Yes, I agree.
That's good.
I agree. So you're basically eating exactly like...
oh!
Yeah!
Yes, I've been doing that for a few years.
Fucking Norwegian loves Holland right now.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
And we love him as well.
We do. But it is quite funny because now everyone is gonna try to be like him because we're Norwegians. So then we have to do that.
I've been doing this for a few years and I feel good.
Yes, I mean it makes sense that there's two swords on the wall as well. It just kind of helps the whole.
Yeah, that's my father's swords.
Yeah,
very cool
Norwegian thing.
Let's go.
Okay, all right, let's eat and then let's head into the studio.
Let's go.
So whenever I'm writing lyrics, I try to think in pictures. That's something that I always think about. Like how can we make it feel bigger than the Simon is cooking, by the way. We're really getting into it now, and you're gonna hear. When I record the vocals, you're going to hear the bigger thing. But yes, Simon also plays a part in lyric writing. Usually I'll have different ideas.
Not
and then,
a lot.
yeah, you do, because you kind of, I have thoughts and I have ideas, and then you kind of come in and then you're like, yeah, I think that's cool, but can we maybe try to say that in a different way or something like that? And that gets my brain going.
Not very often. Sometimes I ask if we have another word for something.
Yeah, but that's important. That's really important. And then it's important for me that whenever I'm writing something, it's important that it touches him in some way, that he kind of, okay, yeah, I get what you're trying to go with it. That's the goal. That's always the goal with The Day We Left Earth, Lord.
You touched me so much, Berkis.
If that isn't happening, it isn't A Day We Left Earth song.
Oh, I cry all the time.
I can't write a happy song, I think. I don't think it's possible. Even when the songs are happy, it ends up being depressing and suicidal almost. So that's great. It says a lot about me and where I am. And yeah, life's great. Woo! I guess this is also a decent occasion to talk a little bit about what we've been doing this last year, why it's taken us a while to release new music. I think it's been a year, and that's quite a long time for us. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about that because now we actually have time, since this is supposed to be a YouTube video, and I'm not in a rush to finish an Instagram story or something. So we went into the studio after releasing, I don't know what the last one was, if it was Afterlife or Survivor, but we went in with the idea of doing an album, and we had that concept fairly mapped out before we even went in on what that was going to be. I'm not going to give away that title just yet because we will probably revisit that in the future. And we wanted to take things to the next level. It sounds cringe to use that sentence, but the point with that is that we felt that we've kind of established how the Day We Left Earth sounds. Obviously that's going to change. It will go to the right, it will go to the left, it will evolve over time, but we kind of know what this is music wise. But I always saw The Day We Left Earth as something more than just the songs. Even the name comes from this idea of you take a leap of faith, you do something that requires a great amount of courage, and it requires you leave something behind for something greater on the horizon. It becomes really big and grandiose immediately. I'm sorry about that. It is what it is. But so we always wanted this to have a bigger visual component than what it's had. The reason why we haven't been able to fully dive into that has mainly been because, well, it's really expensive. That's what it is. And for the last year, we've been talking with different record labels and different professionals when it comes to, VHFX. I don't even know how to say it right now. I kind of just woke up, so I'm a little bit foggy. But to make this world that we want to make, which is the words we've kind of used as a big pinpoint for where we're going, is basically neon Tokyo. That's how we want this next thing to look, which also involves costumes and masks and all that. And that's not to hide our identity or to somehow appear mysterious or anything like that. I know that's really popular in the metal scene right now with bands like Ghost or Sleep Token, but it's not really about that at all. It was more that since our music is so dramatic and big and visual in a way, it just feels like it's a little bit weird when we're just us. And maybe that's about insecurity, maybe it's about all kinds of different things, but for us it just felt, I think the way I phrased it was, Batman is just always going to be cooler than Bruce Wayne. And I'm not saying we're not going to have the Bruce Wayne component. This is going to sound really weird to people who have no idea who Batman is, but to the ones who knows what I mean, you understand what I mean. We just wanted to kind of get that right. So, but it's been a challenge because when you want to sign a record deal, you also give away a pretty huge amount of your royalties, which is the income that you make when you guys listen to our music on Spotify or YouTube or all those things. The record companies will take a pretty big cut of that, and so we had to make a choice. What do we want to do? Do we want to have the freedom, or do we want to take a budget that could achieve those things? And ultimately we decided that no, we don't want to take that deal. We don't want to be boxed in. We don't want to end up in a situation where things are progressing slower because record companies have all kinds of artists on their roster and they might care about us, they might not, and we're certainly not the biggest band in the world. So we ultimately decided that we would rather take our chances on our own and go about it our own way, which might be stupid, but it's ultimately what we decided to do. So we've been dealing with a lot of those things, and when it comes to the costumes and all that, we kind of decided that, okay, so since we can't invest in like grandiose huge things, let's start somewhere. Let's just do the things we can do with our own private income, let's see what we can do with that and be creative and figure it out as we go, because you can always, you know, upgrade, you can always do bigger things as things progresses. So that's what we decided there. And finally, with the music, we went in with we were so thankful for the fact that our first album has over 30 million streams. That's incredible in such a short amount of time. It's our first record. It's quite amazing, really. So we felt that we needed to prove something when we went into the studio, and that's a terrible idea. We went in with this idea that we're gonna prove that we deserve this, and we're gonna get bigger, and we went in there with all the wrong things, with all the stupidest things you can do when you want to write music. When you want to write music, you want to take away expectations. You want to take away all biases when you go in. You just want to create, be creative, and don't overthink. Because the second you start overthinking, the problems come. So I've just been recording some vocals and spent... Can you show me that again?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to show you what I did. And I did 2 choruses, and I should have just taken you along, but I didn't. But here's what we ended up with. This is very raw, very fresh. There's no fancy schwungs. Why do I always have to write stuff that's way too high up? What's the deal with that? Why can't I just sing like...
I don't know. Always cooking all the time with my cookers.
Let us hear it. So this is exactly how we work. Exactly like that. I'm all over the place, doing all kinds of weird shit, and Simon is drinking coffee, trying to like give me strength.
And then we end up with nothing of this at all.
No, because I change it.
Yes, we change it.
What I have an idea. What if we change the melody? What if we change the tempo? What if we change the key? What if we change the riff?
Yes, and then we make the song 10 times.
So we wrote quite a big amount of songs that we just felt at some point were just dull and boring and too weighed, if that's even a word, too influenced by all these things, where we just kind of lost the spark, we lost the fun, we lost fun is probably the right word, we lost that enthusiasm that we had. So we decided to ultimately just scrap it, not necessarily delete it. We'll revisit that album, but that particular album thing was a very specific idea, and it needs to be treated that way. We can't just write one song and then another song and they're just kind of tied together, because that album has a red thread going through it, and it needs to be treated that way. So we decided to scrap it, and hey, you know what? Let's just write music. Let's just write things that we find cool. And then the way we look at this new chapter, or whatever you want to call it, we're in my head, we're calling it Neon Odyssey right now, but that's not necessarily the title. It's just a working thing that we have, which is kind of like a album playlist of sorts, where ultimately all the songs we're doing for the foreseeable future is going to go into that playlist for you guys. And it will probably look like an album for you, because we will keep adding songs on top of it. But for us, it's more like a playlist of where we are right now, like a snapshot of the things we're thinking about, the things we're going through, the things we want to write about. And I don't know how many songs that's going to be. It might be 10 songs, might be 30, might be 5 before we decide to go on this album thing that we were working on, or maybe something new, who knows. But yeah, so the things we're focusing on in the studio right now is definitely having fun, being creative, keeping momentum, and not overthinking so much, because we're really good at that. We're really good at overthinking. We're really good at making very simple things feel complicated, and we need to stop doing that.